Hello everyone, ATR here, and we're back to check out a brand new map that was introduced in the update that was released today for us. This is the Two Fronts update from the 10th of December, 2013 obviously. And yeah, I just made a quick match here, not actually moving or anything, with the AI to see the brand new map. Now, obviously this is a winter map. And as you can see, so that means you can traverse the entire ocean here in between the bases. Now, it's a very interesting looking map. It looks like it's going to have, on the tactical map, we have both bases over here on the right-hand side. You have to traverse the bridges or the ice, the frozen river, because the victory points are one in the center and two on the far north or far left, however you want to look at it. Center map has 2 munitions points, and the fuel points are pretty much on the edges of the map, the furthest away from each base as possible. Now, we have an interesting point here. This is a point that is right outside, well, not right outside, but right next to each base, but it doesn't actually connect to anything. So this point will probably most of the time be in your control. It is right outside your base, although it isn't defended by your base sector MGs. This one over here is kind of defended, but it just barely pokes the edge right there, so it's very easy to get over here. And there are houses nearby, like this one, where you could set up an MG42 if you wanted to and try to deny your opponent from exiting from that sector. There's also a shack right in there in this one that does the same, although this is more defensive actually. But yeah, these sectors don't really do much as far as connecting the map. The ones that connect are these ones right outside the base and the ones across the river. You have this point right here that connects you through the frozen part of the river, and then you have this one that connects you through the bridge. Also, you have these 3 points that connect you to the fuel, just like this one over here has 3 points that connect you over to the fuel, using also the bridge as well. And yeah, the center, the center is pretty much littered with a lot of little houses all over the place. The victory point right here is surrounded by shacks all over the place, even a little tiny one here that could potentially house an MG42. So it's going to be interesting to look. Nothing really amazing from it. It's an interesting looking map, especially because of the fact that you have both players pretty much starting at the same side. You could simply just walk out of your base, cross the river, and you're at the enemy base. Doesn't help you a lot to do that, but later on you could very easily harass your enemy base with, say, like the Soviets with a KV-8 or something, or a flak panzer running in to try and snipe infantry. And also, if you go the artillery route, you could very easily shoot into your enemy's base while also covering the map. You don't have to shoot from edge to edge, you're just shooting from here, so it's a very interesting looking map. Also, sorry for the frame rate, I forgot to adjust it from when I was recording the other thing, but we're not going to lose any action here. We're just looking at the map, so I suppose it's okay, but I apologize for that. Anyways, like I said, the map is the map. That's fine. Now, interestingly, or not interesting, the other interesting thing that we're seeing, obviously, here is the addition of the resource tab or option here. Essentially, what this does is allows you to look at the other players' resources, which is very nice. It looks a lot cleaner than what I've been doing. So I guess this part I'm no longer going to have to record, but unfortunately it doesn't give us the option like to look at the commanders or the units the other person is producing. We did get an additional piece of information here, and this is the it gives you the total amount of damage this player's units have dealt to enemy units or structures, number of infantry or vehicles this player has killed, and the number of infantry and vehicles this player has lost. Now, I don't know how I feel about its placement. It's a little bit obstructing, the rest of the game. I don't know if maybe if I get the high resolution 1080, it might, look a little bit better, but it's a little bit obstructive, and it might cloud the screen a little bit too much if we go for more players, but at least it's some information that we're going to have. I am gonna keep it obviously open for 2-player games, and hopefully this will give us some more insight and nice stats to see, as the games progress. But yeah, other than that, it's a smaller looking bar there. So they did customize it a little bit, but it's nice to see this information coming directly from them, so it's going to be even more accurate than what the overlay was showing. Overlay maybe, you know, 1 or 2 seconds off from the actual stat, but you know, shouldn't really be that big of a problem. And yeah, I mean, show the fog of war, that's still the same. The taskbar getting away, nothing additional. But yeah, I mean, the resources is the only thing that comes up. This was already being implemented by some modders, specifically Jane in the CoH2.org forums, but well, I guess he's no longer going to need to do that since it's already available. And I'm assuming that if you're in a team game, it's going to continue to show more stuff on top of this. But I'll still do the overlay, putting up the units and the commander choices and such, so that we have that information available to us. But yeah, I mean, at least that's a little bit more help. Unfortunately, we still don't have the capability of scrubbing, you know, going back and forth between the replay, which would allow us to do a little bit more detailed, say, analysis types of shows, which I would like to do, but, you know, it would be a little bit too difficult to try to show off. Might do it for some specific, you know, situations to show them off and such, but yeah, I mean, it limits me in what I can and cannot do. But yeah, the map itself looks pretty cool. These sides of the map, I mean, we can almost guarantee that the center of the map is going to be the focal point of every engagement, considering that both players have to run to there. And the rest of the edges of the map might be just left alone. You know, you can pretty much capture this edge of the map over here with a Pio or a Combat Engineer, just as well like this one. Although this one does have a victory point very nearby, and it does have a choke point that can very easily be defended, but, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes out. It looks like a very interesting map, so hopefully it's going to be good. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about this. Hopefully we'll get some replays on it and start seeing some fights. So that's going to be it. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.